In this lesson, we're going to learn how to create our own user-defined module. A user-defined module is just a Python program that we turn around and import into another Python program so that we can use the code that was defined in the module. For this example, we're going to use the Newton's method of approximating square roots that we demonstrated back in the chapter on nested functions. So the first thing I want to do is I want to create the program that's going to store the module, and we're going to call that Newton.py. Now I want to find the code that I used in that example, the Newton method, and that's in a program called chapter 13 ex1p2.py. And it's all of these functions right here, including that import statement to import the math module. So I'm going to copy that. We'll close this, bring Newton back up, and paste it in. And that's all we have to do. And notice that this is just a program that contains nothing but function definitions. And that's all a module has to have. Now there can be more than that, of course, but there wouldn't be any executable code necessarily. Generally speaking, the code in a module will be either a class definition, which we're going to look at later in the course, or functions that we want to be able to use in another program. So let's save this. And then let's start yet another program. And we'll call this Newton test.py. So the way we import a module that's user defined is we use a little bit different syntax. We write from Newton import, and in this case we want to import all of the functions, so we're going to say import star or asterisk, which just means import everything. In the next lesson I'm going to show you how to only import those functions that you need. So now we're ready to go. So let's write a program that will compute a square root. So we're going to enter a number, and that should display the square root, the approximation of the square root using our Newton's method. So let's save the program. Go back to our command prompt window, and let's run the code. So we'll try 9, and there we see that it printed the approximation of the square root of 9. So let's go back to our Newton test program. We also had a program called average. So just for fun, let's print the average of two numbers. And we'll just pick two numbers at random. So let's save the program. And let's run Newton test again. We'll do the square root of 25. And then the average of 144 and 9 is 76.5. So, to summarize, the way we create a module is we simply create a program. In the program, we will create a set of functions or other code that we want to import later. In this particular case, it was just functions. Then, to use the module, we use this syntax, from Newton import star, which just means everything. And then we can use the functions that come from the module just like they were defined in the program itself. So with that, we're finished with this lesson, and we're ready to move on to the next lesson where I'm going to demonstrate how to import only specified functions from a module.